share this special day again with all of you. This is our 21st birthday. Senior Day in the city of Cleveland is 21 years old. How does it feel to be 21? Thank you for coming. Every year it is wonderful to see you and to thank you for all that each and every one of you means to our community. We salute you today, our senior citizens of Cleveland. Thank you for your leadership, your perseverance, your example, and your wisdom. Let us begin our short program and start putting the spotlight on our seniors with the very talented Y Haven Men's Choir. Please join me in welcoming these men who are a real gift to our community.
I don't feel no waste time. I've come too far from where I started. From nobody told me the road would be, and I don't believe. I don't feel no waste time. I've come too far from where I started. From nobody told me. Nobody told the road would be, and I don't believe he brought me. 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 One last time, I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. I don't feel no waste time. Thank you.
For many of the years that we've been together on Senior Day, we've had the pleasure of hearing from one of our own. Tony Dial is an employee of the Cleveland Department of Aging, and he has graced us before with his beautiful rendition of America the Beautiful. Tony has graciously offered to lead us again. Will you please give him a warm welcome?
Hello, everyone. Many of you I know, and it's always a pleasure to come before you, especially to give praise to such wonderful country that we live in today. And unfortunately for me, my accompaniment is tied up in the sunny suburb of Parma, but that's okay. We can do this. So, join me if you feel like it's all right. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty, above the fruitive plain. America, America, God shares his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for patriots' dreams that span beyond the years, for alabaster cities gleam, unblind by human tears. Come on. America, God shares his grace on and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea. All right, thank you.
And thank you, Tony. To be able to accomplish all that is done on behalf of and with our senior citizens in Cleveland, you have to have support and encouragement right from the top. And that has always been there from Mayor Frank Jackson. His Honor has been with us before on Senior Day, and we are pleased that he has chosen to be with us again to keep putting that spotlight on our seniors. Please welcome the mayor of our great city of Cleveland, the Honorable Frank Jackson. Mr. Mayor.
Good morning. And how are you? Good, good. You know, I want to welcome everyone to the 21st Senior Day here in Cleveland, and also I want to congratulate all of the awardees for being Senior of the Year for each of the wards, the 19 wards. And I want to thank you, the people of Cleveland, because Cleveland is a great city because of the work that you put in, the dues that you've paid. So again, I want to thank you very much for being here and thank you for what you've done for Cleveland. Now I want to introduce to you our partner at City Hall, the Council President, Martin J. Sweeney.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning. On behalf of the entire Cleveland City Council, doesn't the front row look a lot better than the back row? I'm just here to give greetings on the entire Cleveland City Council. We're a group of individuals that work very hard for you. We take each and every one of your concerns into consideration, and we try to be responsive. But it's not about us today, it's about the senior citizens. The one day of the year we say, time out, let's say thank you, let's recognize the senior citizens of the city of Cleveland and have this extraordinary day. You're 21 years old, this event, and I'm thinking in my head, what happens when you turn 21? And most people think you can drink alcohol, but according to the new regulations, this whole senior thing can go to the casino that's gonna be here because it's 21 years old. What do you think about that? You heard enough from me. On behalf of the entire council, we want to wish you a great day. And please, go to all the tables. There's many great resources there to try to help you throughout your day. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Now we're at the portion of the program where we recognize the Senior of the Year from each ward. Before I do that, I want to also mention to you that Congressman Kucinich has a proclamation for each of the awardees, so we want to thank the congressman for that, and his representative, Mr. Gomez, he is here today too. The first is from Ward 1. First person, Ward 1, Councilman Pruitt, Mr. Billy J. Tanum. His true passion is community outreach. In the 1960s, he helped form the Harvard Community Service Patrol, now known as the Concerned Citizens of Southeast Cleveland. Mr. Tanum continues to serve as the coordinator for the organization. He is currently a member of the 4th District Police Community Relations Board, as well as many other civic organizations. Mr. Tanum. Next is Reverend Richard J. McCain Sr., and the councilman there in Ward 2 is Councilman Reed. Reverend McCain has served as the senior pastor of the Highland Road Church of Christ for over 35 years. He has also served as director and current director of Concerned Citizens of Southeast Cleveland and of the Substance Abuse Initiative of Greater Cleveland. From visiting the sick, helping foster children with homework, to participating in neighborhood activities and rushing to get drugs out of the neighborhood, Reverend McCain has and will continue to take a strong stance for children, families, and the community. The next awardee is Beverly Warren from Ward 3, represented with Councilman Simperman. Ms. Warren is a member of the Tremont Residence Service Corporation, co-founder and chair of the Friends of Clark Field, and a graduate of the North Neighborhood Leadership Institute. She has been involved in volunteering and spending endless hours working with local architects, community developers, corporations, community leaders, financial institutions in planning and implementing community parks and programs. Congratulations. Next, we have Nancy C. Cronin from Ward 4. Councilperson there is Councilman Ken Johnson. After a long career in fair housing and community and economic development, she continued to serve as chair and member of the Civilian Police Review and City Year Board for several years. Ms. Cronin is a well-known and highly respected advocate who is actively involved in the community and community projects related to area development and safety awareness.
Does it for life? Thank you.
Next, we have Jay Arrington of Ward 5, represented by Councilwoman Phyllis Cleveland. Mr. Arrington is dedicated to helping his community and has served as president of the CMHA Advisory Council since 1993. He is a board member of the Resident Improvement Organization for Friendly and Settlement House, to name just a few of his affiliations. He has been recognized by the Cleveland Division of Police for his commitment and outstanding service to the citizens of his ward. Mr. Arrington. Next, we have Mr. Joseph P. West, Ward 6, represented by Ms. Mamie Mitchell. Mr. West currently serves as the Cromwell Street Club President and works with local community organizations to ensure that residents are well informed on various safety topics. His grassroots, he cuts grass, rakes leaves, and plows snow for free for seniors and disabled neighbors on his street. Mr. West is known as a hardworking man and a good friend who is quick to help others in any way that he can. Mr. West. Next, we have Mr. Sherrill from Ward 7, represented by Councilman T.J. Dow. Mr. Sherrill is known as the governor of Ward 7. He is committed to serving others in the community, especially senior citizens. He currently serves as senior coordinator for the Ward 7 precinct committee person, and a member of Ward 7 Land Bank Committee, and is also an active member of the parent alumni of Cleveland Central Catholic School. Mr. Terrell. Next, we have Dorothy Mae Adams, Ward 8, represented by Councilman Jeffrey Johnson. Ms. Adams is a retired employee of the City Metropolitan School District, the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, where she was recognized as an outstanding elementary teacher, teacher recruiter, summer school coordinator, and teachers union representative. She is very active. She's a very active member in her neighborhood. Her involvement includes membership with the Glenville Development Corporation, membership with the African American Cultural Gardens and Development Task Force, just to name a few of her activities. Next, we have Jeanette Blakely from Ward 9, represented by Councilman Kevin Conwell. Ms. Blakely retired after 37 years of combined service to the Cleveland Clinic and University Hospital. For the past 13 years, he has been working as an office assistant for the Alta Social Settlement House. Is that it, Alta? And she makes sure that seniors in her neighborhood are able to keep their medical appointments, shop, and participate in day trips through programs of the Alta Social Settlement House. Ms. Blake. Next, we have Tommy Hall, in Ward 10, represented by Councilman Eugene Miller. Mr. Hall's true passion is working with children. He has coached several baseball, basketball, and football teams throughout the community. He tries to teach the importance of working together as a team and feels it is crucial for children to understand the game rules, plays, and concepts of being a responsible team member and citizen. Next is Ms. Doris Jones, represented for Ward 11, Councilman Michael Polensik. Ms. Jones is celebrated as a phenomenal volunteer and community activist by residents in her community. She is genuinely concerned about her neighborhood and is involved in empowering and helping others. She represents Ward 11 on the Department of Aging Advisory Council and is a resident commissioner for the Cuyahoga County Metropolitan Housing Authority. Ms. Jones. Next, we have from Ward 12, represented by Tony Bracatelli, Mr. Farai Malinganga, if I'm correct. Mr. Malinganga is a native of Zimbabwe. He moved to Cleveland in 1990 and has been an active community leader in the Slavic village since his arrival. He is the president of the East 72nd to 75th Street Block Clubs, and he wrote and received 2 grants to serve his block club area. Mr. Malanga demonstrates his passion for sustainable living by volunteering to fix up bicycles and to serve as chair of the 2009 Slavic Village Neighborhood Summit, which established the theme of sustainability. Congratulations. Ward 13, Theodore Ted V. Johnson, represented by Councilman Kelly. Mr. Johnson serves as a member of the Old Brooklyn Community Development Corporation, Metro Health Senior Health and Wellness Center, and the Knights of Columbus, to name just a few of his affiliations. He is honored to be nominated as a special senior for Ward 13 and would like to accept this recognition, acknowledging his wife, Lucille. As together, they worked hand in hand to try to make a positive difference in the lives of others in their community. Ward 14, Janet Thomas, represented by Brian Cummings. Ms. Thomas retired in 2009 as Executive Director of Westside Ecumenical Ministries Food Center at Brookside Center, where she worked for 25 years. She led the organization to distribution of food and clothing to families throughout the area. Ms. Thomas loves her neighborhood and embraces its diversity. She helped coordinate Brookside's Multicultural and Health Festival for 10 years. Next is Ward 15, Art Lee Ledger Jr., represented by Councilman Matt Zone. Mr. Ledger was the first African-American taxidermist in the United States and has won several awards for his work in this field. He is devoted to his community, and some of his involvements include being a co-founder of the International Village Block Club, creating the first block watch security group on West 48th Street, and he was instrumental in creating 4 new community gardens, which he helped to maintain. Joanne Newberry, Ward 16, represented by Councilman Jay Westbrook. Ms. Newberry has made several significant contributions to her community in the last 40 years. She is a founding member of the West 95th Street Block Watch Group, a board member of the Cadell Improvement Corporation, a volunteer and with the annual Clifton Arts and Music Fest, and she helps get MYCOM, My Committee, My Community, started for local use. Congratulations. Next, we have Peggy Montgomery, Ward 17, Council Representative Donna Brady. Ms. Montgomery was widely recognized for her contribution to the Bel Air Puritas, West Park, and West Town neighborhoods. She is a graduate of the Citizen Police Academy and the Neighborhood Leadership Cleveland program. Ms. Montgomery cares deeply about serving others and is committed to spending time when helping our youth. She has served as a coordinator in organizing and collection and delivery of non-perishable food items to food pantries and churches throughout the city of Cleveland. Ward 18, Patricia Julian, represented by Councilman Martin J. Sweeney. Ms. Julian retired after working for the state of Ohio for several years. She periodically works part-time for the Cuyahoga County Board of Election and is a member of the Democratic Party and has been a lifetime member of the Polish Legion of American Veterans and Veterans of Foreign Wars. She prides herself most on being a volunteer. Ms. Julian can be found cooking, serving, and delivering meals to various shelters and persons in need throughout the city of Cleveland. And Ward 19, Patrick Kilbane, represented by Councilman Martin J. Kane. Mr. Kilbane has been a member of the St. Patrick West Park Church for 50 years. Cement mason by trade, he worked on the West Side Irish American Club in Olmsted Township and the shrine on St. Patrick's front lawn. Mr. Kilbane has been Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Day Parade, West Side Irish American Club Man of the Year, and a precinct leader. He walks 3 to 4 miles every day and plays the fiddle every Sunday. Congratulations to all the awardees. Thank you. You know, know, we want to, myself and the council president want to have a special recognition. As you know, those of you who've been coming to this every year probably recognize that Mr. Dale Donahue is not here this year. He has had some minor surgery, I'm told, and could not make it today, but really wanted to let you know how much he wanted to be here since he's been here for over a decade as part of this program. So to honor him for the city of Cleveland, I want to present this proclamation in recognition of Dale Donahue and the work that he's done for seniors in general and the work that he's done for the Seniors Day for over a decade. And Council President.
Yeah. The mayor's the administrative side of the council of the City Hall. We're the legislative branch, but it's nice when we both can work together and we have unanimous support for a certain cause. And there's no greater cause than recognizing someone for a lifetime of accomplishment. If we all remember 2 years ago, how we surprised and recognized our former colleague, Miss Fannie Lewis, it was a great day and she really, really appreciated it. And today we have the opportunity, he's not here, but he's still with us. And he's gonna be able to hear from all of us. Let's all just cheer very loud for Del Donahue so you can hear it. Come on, you can hear it, Del. And we have the privilege of presenting it to Dick Russ, who's been a true partner through all the senior days we had. So it is with great pleasure from the Cleveland City Council on behalf of all my colleagues that I present a resolution of congratulation to Dick Russ for Del Donahue for proper presentation.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, Council President Sweeney. Del asked me to share with you a little greeting to send your way since he cannot be here with you. Del, who is now 86, and as the mayor said, has been a part of our community for so long, more than 40 years now. He did have a little minor surgery, and as much as he wanted to be here, it just didn't work out, but he wanted you to know that he is here in spirit, and he wrote a little something that he'd like to share. Dear fellow senior citizens of Cleveland, thank you all for coming to the annual Senior Day, and please accept my apologies for not being able to be with you in person this year. I salute all of you for your immense contributions to our community, and I thank all of you for showing everyone, day after day, that being able to be active and important part of our community is not diminished by whatever age you have reached. Stay as involved as possible. Put your mind, and when you can, your hands to work. Show them your talents and use them. Keep a good sense of humor about you and stay as close as you can to those who are close to you. Keep meeting people. All of us have known some degree of loneliness, and believe me that staying in touch with other people is the best thing you can do to overcome that. Finally, thank you for honoring me today, but really it has been my privilege and honor to be able to point out the really famous people here, each and every one of you. You are the folks who keep me going, and I hope to be able to be back among you as soon as I am able. Signed, your friend and fellow senior citizen, Del Donahue. In addition to the proclamations which the mayor and the city council have so graciously given to Del, and I will deliver them to him as soon as I can, there is a signature book that is being circulated today for all of you to sign and write your best wishes to Del Donahue. So make sure before you leave today, you find that book and write a little message to Del, and we'll deliver that to him also. This concludes our formal program, And would you please join me in offering one final round of applause for all of our honorees today.
The rain comes shine. Happy together, unhappy together. Now won't that be fine? Nowadays may be cloudy or sunny. We're in or we're out of the money. But I'm with you always. Yeah, honey, I'm with you always.
Please welcome Whitehaven Men's Choir.
Somewhere down on the track, the people that ain't ready better step on back. This train has been running since time began. It's running from the love of your fellow man. All aboard, you better get on board. All aboard, you better get on board. Now people get ready, there's a train a-coming. You don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. Thank you.
but I must be free. I can't stay in this life. How do I say goodbye? I tell her I don't wanna be here anymore. No, she did. I just don't feel the way I did before. I wanna be here. I tell her I don't wanna be here anymore. Nothing she did. I just don't feel the way I did before. She pretends she cannot see the love is gone from me. She carries on as if it is what it was before, but I don't love her anymore. Oh, I have to let her know that I must let her go. I can't stay in this life. How do I say goodbye? I tell her I don't wanna be here anymore. Nothing she did, I just don't feel the way I did before. How do I tell her I don't wanna be here anymore? Nothing she did, I just don't feel the way I did before. Oh, don't know what to do about it. Gotta tell her. Oh, there's no way to go around it. I've got to tell her now, but I don't know how. Listen, baby. Listen, close me, baby. I just gotta tell you, all the love we once shared is through. Listen, baby. Listen, close me, baby. I can't stay. I can't stay. I tell her I don't wanna be here anymore. Nothing she did, I just don't feel the way I did before. How do I tell her I don't wanna be here anymore? Nothing she did, I just don't feel the way I did before. How do I tell her I don't wanna be here anymore? Nothing she did, I just don't feel the way I did before. How do I tell her I don't wanna be here anymore? Nothing she did, I just don't feel the way I did before. How do I tell her I don't wanna be here anymore? Nothing she did, I just don't feel the way I did.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have someone very special here this evening who's going to perform for us. Yeah, very fine. I got money, you got plenty to show, and that's funny, 'cause I've seen him before. You wanna hold my hand, you wanna hold my toe, you got love for sale, I don't need it, 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 I don't need it. I got options. Any money and more. Cut 'em in. It was a long time ago. You wanna spend my time? You wanna spend my dough? You got love for sale? I don't need it. 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 Give it to me.
Back it up, drop it down. Let me see you just get low, scrub the ground. Let me see you just push it up, push it up. Let me see you just wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Yeah. 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 Yeah, yeah, get it now. Yeah, yeah, get it now. Yeah, yeah, get it now. Yeah, yeah. Hey, big girl, make a bag it up. Make a bag it up. Hey, big girl, make a bag it up. Make a bag it up. Hey, big girl, make a bag it up. Make a bag it up. Hey, big girl, make a bag it up. Make a bag it up. Bag it up.
Got them shaking their boobies like Congo. I'm shaking the city like quakes. Haters blue in the face like Gonzo. I'm making the cake, so let's bake. I'm taking the game's mine. Yeah, I witness the change, it's my time. Yeah, I'm new to the game, but y'all might wanna say you whack raps, they like say the time. I can dance, homie, I'm two-step. Y'all looking at something like a true player. A girl told me that a man that can dance might could possibly get down with the tool in his pants. Now I'm a ladies, let me see it vibrate. And when it's over, you ain't gon' need your bird. Cause I'm a pro, make you bend your back load and a pound of real glad to like the percolate.
Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Yeah. 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 Yeah, yeah, get it now. Yeah, yeah, get it now. Yeah, yeah, get it now. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, big girl, back it up. Make a bag it up. Hey, big girl, make a bag it up. Make a bag it up. Hey, big girl, make a bag it up. Make a bag it up. Hey, big girl, make a bag it up. Make a bag it up. We can cradle the bed, I'm straight racking it. The girls say, man, like me, never rock shit. Damn, I'm so explicit, but I can't help it, my flow ridiculous. Boy, got a gift like it gotta be Christmas. Swag on this like it gotta be gifted. The girls roll cameras and they want pictures, and they gon' frame them till you holy like you pray in the temple. One beat, I move with the letter of a pencil. If my won't miss you, good night kiss you. Take a damn mad, cause you got a pistol. And I don't think Donnie pick her up these issues.
Baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, get it now. Yeah, yeah, get it now. Yeah, yeah, get it now. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, big girl, make a bag it up. Make a bag it up. Hey, big girl, make a bag it up. Make a bag it up. Hey, big girl, make a bag it up. Make a bag it up. Hey, big girl, make a bag it up. Make a bag it up.
Oh! Oh!
ground. Let me see you just push it up, push it up. Let me see you just wobble, shake, shake it, shake it, give it here. Wobble, wobble, just push it, give it here. Show me what you got, show me what you got, give it here. Show me what you got, show me what you give it here. Hey girl,